I think we can all agree at this point that My Hero Academia is a good show. While it does have its flaws, is the reason why it's one of the most, if not the most popular new gen anime. So as season 5 approaches, why not take a moment to look back on the season 4 of Boku No Hero Academia. So this isn't an opinion video, it's purely just a recap video. I plan on doing a my opinion on My Hero Academia season 4 collaboration with other YouTubers soon. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. If you don't, your favorite anime will get cancelled faster than interspecies reviewers. Hey guys, I'm recording this after finishing the video. I just made two mistakes in the scripts and I thought I should let you guys know. Firstly, whenever I say Nighthawk in the video, just know that I actually mean Night Eye. And secondly, I say all for one many times, but I actually meant one for all. That's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It took a really long time to make. Since the first episode was filler, I'm gonna skip it, but I definitely recommend that you watch it. It was amazing. Since My Hero Academia isn't really episodic, I thought it would be a waste of time to recap every episode separately, so I figured I would just give the overall flow of the plot and the major events that occurred. Ready? Let's go. So season 3 of My Hero Academia finishes with the big three Nejire Hado, Tamaki Yamajiki, and Mirio Togata telling Class 1A about the work-study program. This is important to remember because it plays a big part later on. So we start off season 4 with Overhaul meeting the League of Villains and trying to convince them to follow him. A fight breaks out. Overhaul kills Magne, one of the League of Villain members, and destroys Mr. Compress's arm. Because of this battle, Tomura learns about the existence of a drug that can nullify quirks temporarily. Before we move on, there's a few things you need to remember about Overhaul. Overhaul's real name is Kai Chisaki. He was adopted by the leader of the Shai Hisaikai, who is one of the Yakuza. He possesses the ability to destroy and rebuild anything he touches. After the fight is over, we see mysterious hero who seems to be leading an investigation into the Hisaikai. Deku, after deciding to participate in the work-study partnership, asks Gran Torino if he can work there, because he's the only one who offered to take him for the original internship. Gran Torino says he cannot because he's chasing after Kurogiri of the League of Villains, the Warp Gate, but he tells Midoriya that he should ask All Might to introduce him to another hero. When Deku asks All Might brings in Mirio and asks him to introduce Deku to Nighthawk. Nighthawk's agency is where Mirio is doing his work study. See, Nighthawk used to be All Might's sidekick, but All Might refused to see him, seeming as though he was too ashamed of something. When Deku meets Nighthawk, Nighthawk proposes a challenge. If Deku can take the stamps out of his hands within the time limit, he can get to intern at the agency. By the end of the time limit, Deku fails to get the stamp. During this fight, Nighthawk reveals his quirk Foresight. Foresight allows him to see a person's future with 100% accuracy after making complete and total eye contact with them. The only caveat to this ability besides the eye contact is it can only be active for 1 hour every day. During that 1 hour, he could see as far into a person's future as he wants. Nighthawk is taken back when he realizes that Deku purposely avoided every piece of All Might's merchandise. Nighthawk tells Midoriya, once realizing this, that he had already decided to accept him before he even got there. This is when Nighthawk reveals that he knows the truth about All for One. Apparently, when All Might first came back to Japan to teach UA, he had planned to give All for One to one of the students there. The student he mainly had planned to give it to, by the principal's recommendation, was Mirio Togata. Nighthawk tells Deku that he believes that One for All should have gone to Mirio, and still should be passed on from Deku to Mirio. Later that day, Deku looks for All Might to ask him why he decided to give One for All to him and not Mirio. All Might then reveals the truth about his fate. He tells Deku that while looking into All Might's future, Nighthawk saw the gruesome death of All Might if he didn't stop being a hero. A little while later, the students who found places to work at started their internships. These students were Kirishima, Uraraka, Asui, Nejire, Mirio, and Tamaki. While Kirishima is outside with Fat Gum, the hero in charge of his work study, they're attacked by a group of people. In the battle, Kirishima learns how to use Red Riot Unbreakable. They also learn of the existence of two drugs. One can make quirks insanely more powerful, while the other disables any quirk for a short time. Tamaki is hit by a bullet filled with a ladder and unable to use his quirk for the duration of the battle. Upon examination, the heroes find out that this drug not only disables a person's quirk, but permanently damages it. It turns out that this drug is still in development by the Shi Hisaikai, and with more development it will be able to permanently disable any quirk. Later that day, while Deku and Mirio are out patrolling for the Shi Hisaikai, they run into a little girl whose arms are covered in bandages. Overhaul shows up looking for the girl, claiming she is his daughter Eri. Overhaul doesn't know that they know who he is, and because it's an undercover mission, they have no choice but to let him leave with the little girl, Eri. The next day, Nighthawk calls a council between many pro-hero associations. Because of this, both Uraraka, Asui, and Kirishima show up. Nighthawk informs all of them about the Shi Hisaikai and of the drug's existence. Turns out that the drug injected in Tamaki was made from a person's blood. Once they realized that it belonged to Eri, both Mirio and Deku pledged to save her from Overhaul. It turns out that while Deku and Mirio were talking with Overhaul, Nighthawk had found the location of their base using foresight. Soon after, the pro heroes, along with the students, the police, and Eraserhead, began the assault on the Shihisaikai. Overhaul, having known this would happen, already had an escape route planned. The coming battle is really long, so I'm going to spare you the details and just keep the important parts in. Overhaul's elite forces are called the 8 Bullets. Tamaki fights 3 of them and barely wins by eating rocks. Kirishima and Fat Gum fight another 2 and barely win thanks to Kirishima's ultimate defense, protecting Fat Gum while he was charging his ultimate attack. One of Overhaul's servants, Mimic, had the quirk to merge and control anything limited to the size of a fridge, but he took the quirk Improvement Drug and controlled the entire basement. Mirio decides to move alone as he's the only one that can pass through the walls. Deku smashes the wall and makes it to the other side only to find that someone has stabbed Lockrock, one of the pro heroes fighting alongside them. Turns out that Shigaraki had agreed to lend Chisaki Togo and Twice temporarily. Toga had the ability to transform into anyone as long as she ingested their blood, and Twice has the ability to clone someone else or himself. Deku and Eraserhead take down Mimic so they can follow after Mirio. While all this is happening, Mirio had already found Overhaul and defeated his 2 guards. Mirio then takes on Overhaul himself, who reveals his ability to even destroy and rebuild the ground itself. Mirio, with his permutation quirk, was nearly able to beat Overhaul, but one of the henchmen tried to shoot Eri with a bullet, so Mirio jumped in and got shot in her place. It turns out that the bullet that Mirio got shot by was actually the perfected version of the anti-quirk serum. Overhaul claims Mirio had lost his quirks forever. This is when Deku, Nighthawk, and Eraserhead come smashing through a wall using full cowling shoot style. Eraserhead gets hit by one of Overhaul's minions' quirk, which stops him from being able to move. So it was a showdown between Deku and Nighthawk against Overhaul. Overhaul admits Mirio is stronger than him, as he merges with his other attendant using his quirk. At this point, Overhaul was a gigantic monster with wings and claws. Nighthawk tells Deku to take Mirio and Eri and run, which he does. At this point, Nighthawk uses Foresight on Overhaul, foreseeing a future where Mirio and Eri escape alive, while Overhaul gets away after killing Deku. Nighthawk's Foresight has never been wrong before, not even once. Nighthawk, having reached his limit, was impaled by rocks with Overhaul shortly after. Overhaul chases Deku, but when Deku sees Nighthawk, he is filled with rage. This rage allows Deku to surpass his 10% one-for-all limit and reach 20% throughout his whole body. This didn't come without its side effects, though, as his whole body was in pain. At this point, a weakened Mirio and Eri are somewhat far away from Overhaul. Overhaul yells that more people are going to die if Eri doesn't return to him. Eri hears this and agrees to come back if he promises to heal everyone who is hurt. Overhaul agrees and Eri joins him. This is where Team Ryuku, consisting of Uraraka, Asui, and Ryuku, come through the ceiling. While this was happening, Toga had impersonated Deku and told them to go meet in the basement. Overhaul reveals that Eri's quirk, Rewind, has the ability to return any living thing to its previous state. When Overhaul tries to make his escape, Deku comes running after him. As Team Ryuku tries to follow Nighthawk, he tells them it would be a waste of time because he already knows that Overhaul will kill Deku and make an escape. They decide to go anyway and follow them. On the way out of the pit, Eri realizes that no matter what, as long as Eri is with Overhaul, Deku and the others will keep chasing them, so she jumps into Deku's arms. As Eri touches Deku, she starts to glow bright golden. Deku uses One for All in an attempt to finish Overhaul, but it doesn't work. But Deku's surprised to see that even though he used One for All 100%, none of his bones are broken. This was thanks to Eri, because without his knowing, she was reverting his broken bones back to their previous state every time they broke. Using infinite 100%, Deku is able to annihilate Overhaul. Uraraka apprehends Overhaul and the police take him into custody. The assault on the Shihisaikai was finally over for the heroes, but what they didn't know was that Shigaraki was still planning something. On the way to Tartarus, the maximum security prison where All for One was being held, the truck was attacked by the League of Villains, resulting in the death of a hero. Shigaraki proclaims his hatred for Overhaul and cuts off both his arms. Alright guys, so this is where the assault on the Shihisaikai ends. This video has probably dragged on long enough, so I'll just end it here. I've already started working on My Hero Academia Season 4 Part 2. Believe me, it's so much shorter than this part. If you want to see it as soon as it comes out, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and keep on memeing.